What up, Insane Rhetoric? What up, Insane Rhetoric? What's up? What's up? What's up? You know what it is. The world is upside down. We're trying to make it right side up. What's good, sister? What's on the floor? What's happening?
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning. What's happening? Morning, y'all. Morning, y'all. What's the word for the day?
So I got a question.
Oh, is it about your white robe situation?
Is about my what?
Your white robe situation.
No.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. It might affect my white robe if I say what I'm gonna say. But he already know what I'm thinking anyway, so it don't matter if I say it.
Go
Well,
ahead.
yeah, cause okay, I know what you say is what you are. Yeah, okay, but yes.
What's the question?
So yeah, I got a question. 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 Yeah, hey, hey, hey. I got a question.
Mm-mm. What's the question? What's the question, Ice? What's the question? We're all dying to know.
Why? Tell me why you America you like subscribe follow please and comment in our comment section there. Would you please tell me why you agree that Donald Trump is more crooked than Hillary Clinton? You agree that he should have been arrested. You agree that he should have had. Did you see the pic? Y'all, did y'all see the picture of the stacks and stacks of boxes around his
All right.
toilet?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. He admitted on live recording that y'all he admitted on live recording that he did not declassify the documents. He admitted, he admitted, wait a minute, y'all. He admitted that he did not declassify the documents, that they would, he finally said they were in his house when he lied and said they weren't in his house. And it just seems to me that all of this could have been avoided. I don't know. I'm just asking because it's kind of my parenting style. It's kind of my parenting style that if you just told me the truth, like straight off the bat, you just told me the truth, told me the truth. Whatever you did, no matter how horrible it was, if you just told me the truth, the first time I asked you, I might even give you the second time. The second time I ask you, if I have to ask you more than 3 times, because my children know they got a 1, a 2, and a 3. Okay, if I had to ask you more than 3 times, then there was harsh punishment. Not gonna lie, might have been some corporal punishment in there.
Ain't nothing wrong with that either.
Okay, I learned the errors of my ways. But anyway, listen. Tell me why y'all still want this man to be president. That was the question. Why y'all still want this man to be president? Why y'all just like it's fake news? Why y'all still saying like it's not true? It's a witch hunt, like, and y'all still want him to be president?
That's
It's
because man, that you know how it go. You know, the game of politics is we gonna deny it until we can't deny it no more. You know, that's what ties up so much legal time in America cases, because everybody's just trying to put it off like they ain't gonna get caught with the information. So that's I think that's all that is. It's the nature of the beast. Denied,
Yeah,
denied, denied.
listen, I heard somebody, I don't know what I was watching, but I heard somebody describe it as a cult that the Republican Party the Republican Party is functioning as a cult now. Like they've even gotten away from the simple things that made them the Republican Party for years.
Well, I mean, if you say that for one, I think you have to say that for all, because nobody is doing what they supposed to be doing by standards of the forefathers who framed the Constitution and framed all the laws. And so technically, I mean, you think about all the stuff that they did back then when they was framing the Constitution and all the other amendments and different things. They were doing that stuff then. So, I mean, I would jump off the deep end on some things, but like, you have things like I know you're familiar with it, Skulls and Bones, you know what I'm saying, where secret societies, and I'm gonna stop right there because, a lot of people like some of those act the same way you were talking about as cults. So, I mean, the things that you have to do to get into some of these societies to be prominent people, what's the difference? I would probably go ahead and agree with that. But I would say that would be for any party, not just one particular party. I think all of them are functioning like that.
Yeah, I disagree because I don't, as of now, I don't see anyone else just agreeing with anything just because. There's still a little bit of conversation happening in some pockets of society.
Yeah. That's the
So listen, did you see the Cory Booker video on YouTube?
I didn't catch that one.
Okay. Which, by the way, I'm gonna tell y'all, Democrats, I don't know why we didn't break it down between Cory and Kamala, but anyway, that would have been a ticket.
Yeah.
That would have been a ticket.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, but anyway, because all of this is just to get Biden out and Republicans just be in. Mm-hmm. But no one is paying attention to, and when I say no one, I mean the general population. Those of us that y'all not be under the fan, I don't even want to hear it. Those of us that put these people in office to represent us. So I kind of understand that you want the madness to stop. There's a lot of stuff going on in our lives that we just want it to stop. And we're not clear as to how to make it stop. We don't trust anyone. And so we just do what is called choosing the lesser of two evils.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do it, and these people are manipulators. These people who are getting into office are manipulators. So they're telling you exactly what you want to hear. And when you say things, they are manipulating what you say you want even further. And it was interesting to me how Cory Booker, so Warnock got up. You know, we talked about Warnock a lot.
That was when he was working with Hershey Walker.
Hershey. Yeah.
I know.
Okay, Herschel, y'all. We sorry. Okay, Herschel Walker. No, not sorry. Okay, so listen. Warnock got up and said some craziness. They're talking about the voting rights all across the country and how the shift that's been happening with changing or reverting, not changing, but reverting the voting rights back to Jim Crow status. That's the short version.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We see it if we're paying attention. We see it happening before our eyes. But no one seems, the voters don't seem to care. You continue to want to support people who are blindly, they are even saying he's wrong. Trump is wrong. The things he's doing is wrong. They are coming out now. The Republicans are coming out now, little by little, and saying, yeah, what he did was wrong, but all of this, he's a victim. He's a criminal, like worse than Hillary Clinton.
That says a lot.
He's
that speaks plenty of volumes. Okay, so like
she's a better criminal. You know why? That's who you should have had in office. You know why she's a better criminal? Would you like for me to tell you? She got caught.
Clearly that's evidence. Clearly that's evidence. Which this is what I think, I believe that the stuff that we have endured down through the years, we used to talk about years ago, public programming and subliminal messages. And I think it has got to the point where people are so desensitized to things that are going on around. They don't care who it is, as long as they get some of the things they want. They really don't care what they done, what they are doing, or what even their future plans is, as long as it doesn't affect their main bottom line directly and impact it quickly in their life. They ain't caring, because what most people don't look at is some of the stuff that's happening might not affect us directly in our lifetime, but you can guarantee it's going to affect the children in the near future, because these are the new leaders that these guys are watching these people, and it's just crazy. So you can only imagine what's going to be in the next 25 to 30 years.
Well, if you block voting on college campuses, if you close down if you close down voter sites
Mm-hmm.
on college campuses, if you close voting sites in Black and Latino neighborhoods, this was Cory Booker's point,
Mm-hmm.
and we've talked about this already on this show about this very thing. Okay, if you close down the sites where they can't even go to vote, and they don't have transportation to go to wherever it is you've put the place and stand in line. I think they said in his speech, Cory Booker said that students at Texas Southern University here in Houston, a HBCU here in Houston, historically Black college, HC, okay, HBCU. Okay. Cory Booker said that they waited up to 6 to 10 hours to vote. They stood in line waiting 6 to 10 hours to vote. And he talked about that in terms of what that person's life really looks like. Can they really afford to miss a complete work shift?
No, you know they can't.
To vote. So you're suppressing voters, is what you're doing systemically.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing things systemically.
So
he kept referring to Texas. Texas. Okay.
I have a question for you, because I don't know the numbers anymore like that. So my question would be, who is the majority now? I'm willing to lean toward the Hispanics as being the majority.
I think we did a show on this one or two in season 1 or 2,
Mm-hmm.
where we talked about the growth of the Latino community.
Mm-hmm.
So if y'all, the DOG right now, as we speak, I'm not DOG. Yeah, well, he a dog. Okay. But not him, the DOJ.
The DOJ, Department of Justice.
Yeah, the DOJ, not the DOG. Cory Booker, if I tell you how many times Cory Booker used the word "they lie" with regards to the Republicans and all of the different reasons why they're saying that they need to revert these laws.
Mm-hmm.
If I tell you how many times he refuted some of their stances of why they need to do it, what they're doing, especially in Texas. But y'all, as we speak, the DOJ has filed an urgent motion. Now listen, y'all, the Department of Justice is over there working hard to block Donald Trump from leaking the documents he had, from leaking it to his lawyers so that they can't use it in his defense. We already know that he'll leak it to people, you know, like on his Truth Social, whatever that is, his little fake Twitter.
Mhm.
Okay. He'll leak it on there. Okay. We trying to get the DOJ is trying to get a motion to get him to shut the fuck up. Oh, oops.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't have to say the F bomb. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Listen,
All the
Malcolm.
while, wait a minute, that's all he thought. Just how he thought. All the while, we're over here with this nonsense. We're concerned about terrorism. We say we are, but we over here with this nonsense, and everything is distracted away from the fact that all of these countries who absolutely hate us are building momentum to come over here and blow us the fuck up.
They ain't gotta come over here. They already here. They already here. They ain't gotta come over here. I mean,
We're no longer a strong nation.
well, that's been that has been eradicated a long time ago. That has been leveled a long time ago. The United States is built off of their name now. It's not something that goes into action like yester generations. Is not something that they just act on now. They try to grease everybody's hand to get what they want. And then if it comes down to it, then maybe if we have to go, then we'll go. But like,
is it in the damn food? I just ask me, just answer that question. Is
probably,
it in the food the reason why
probably,
we are so deranged now
probably.
that we would insist that someone who quite frankly is proud of being a supremacist?
But I mean, come on now. Like you got to think of it. It might be in the food. I think it's in everything. And like I say, is dumbing down a nation. I mean, people might not like that term or whatever. I like the term being stupid on purpose. And because what's happening is people don't want to lose what they have. I read a quote years ago, and it said, if you're not willing to die for what you want, then you'll never be ready to live. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you think about that, you think about people who actually died for what they believed in, like strongly. I mean, Mother Teresa was one, she eventually just died, but she lived her life trying to serve people. You think of King. I'm really not a fan like that of him, but I admire what he has done. You think about Malcolm and people who put their life on the line for what they wanted to see changed. And the problem is that people don't want to pay that ultimate cost to have change. So the best the best way to keep a person captive is by two mechanisms. By the barrel of a gun, the problem with that is that you have to literally be there and hold everybody hostage. The better way to keep a person in bondage is by fear. You don't have to be there. You just send out messages that causes people to be inflamed and to a point where they think that they're going to lose something. Like I say it all the time. A person who carries a gun or any kind of weapon don't have no ability to actually just do what they want to do. The best weapon you can ever have is a platform and words, because words travel through anything. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I tell people all the time, now we might get some flack for what I'm finna say, but you know, it's me. I don't care. Adolf Hitler never killed anybody, but his words influenced a nation to do it for him. He was a good speaker, hands down. Same with Mussolini. When you think about Mussolini and how he persuaded a whole nation to go against other countries. And funny, here's the tip. If you're not a history buff, the reason Adolf Hitler came to power is because he was watching Mussolini's speeches. And he was amazed how Mussolini could actually sway people with words. And that's the thing. People are being swayed with words. Oh, yeah, they say they're going to do this. They say they're going to do that. And you're just buying into propaganda. You're buying into a lie. You're buying into what you think is truth. But it really comes down to it. Them people ain't concerned about you. Name me one major politician that's going to come down to any soup kitchen and help somebody. Literally, name one. Right, quiet, can't, because they're thinking about their own politics, their own pocket, and their own social being. That's it. It's a selfish world. It's a dog-eat-dog world. Either you got it or you trying to get it. If you ain't got it, then you better do something to be trying to get it. That's all it comes down to. Mm-hmm. But there's a lady who wrote a book. I forgot her first name, but her last name is Alexander. And she wrote The New Jim Crow. I advise y'all to read it. You know, that's one of the books that you should have in your library, because it talks about how they're trying to do exactly what you said, Ice, is revert everything back to Jim Crow laws, you know. And that's the reason I asked, what is the majority population? Who is the majority population? Because the only reason that these people were fighting so hard is because they know that they're not the majority anymore. They're a minority. And you gotta try to level the playing field so you can pull off what you want. Because when you think about it, if you're blocking Black votes, if you're blocking Hispanic votes, which some of those groups are the majority, especially Hispanics, if you ain't trying to get them to the polls, then the likelihood of you winning is slim to none. You know, like, I mean, it just is what it is. Mm-hmm.
So as of 2021, non-Hispanic, white is 59.3% of the population. (18.9% of the population is Latino, and 12.6% of the population is Black.
Okay, so now this is where I have a problem. And it's kind of catch-22. You know how they go. The people who do the numbers.
Right.
Can make the numbers say what they want to say.
Well, yeah, because, well, that's part of it. That's part of it. But also, if I'm Latino and I identify as white.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then
they're gonna market it. They're gonna market it such.
Right. Like me, I said I identify as white.
You're looking mighty white right now too, I must say.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
Yeah. So I'm not included in that 12.6%. I'm part
Mhm.
of that 59.3% because on all my paperwork I put white.
Yeah. I mean,
I
they
so
they
so the
they
numbers are skewed.
right. They can't come down here and tell you that you're not white.
Yeah, it's very rarely that I put Black African American on my paperwork.
Yeah. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
I go back and forth. Like I just put whatever I'm feeling today. When I fill out the paper, and they say I'm sitting there and I'm filling out the paper. If I feel like I'm a Black girl, then I
put that.
right. If I
Yeah,
feel like I'm a white girl, then I put that. So the numbers are skewed. I'm just telling you because it's a lot of Latino people who will not put
right.
Latino. They will put white.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that whole numbering system is that it really is not something solid that you can build anything on. I mean, because like you just said, they're gonna make it the way they want to make it. So, but my thing is, if you were the majority in action, it would tell you because you could pull a whole lot of stuff off that you wanted to pull off. You know what I'm saying? If you were the majority, you fighting hard to do what you want to do because that tells me that you not the majority. You know what I'm saying? Because you fighting tooth and nail to freaking get things in place, and you don't have the votes and the people to support that. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, keep it pushing. Keep it pushing is all I can tell you.
So the
So
10
my thing
states
is he
as
gonna
of
go to
20,
jail? Is he gonna go to jail? Is he gonna be convicted? Because I told you last time, man, you talked off the air. You don't win cases by indictments. You win them by convictions. So are they going to convict Donald Trump? Do you believe that this man is going to go to the penitentiary and serve time?
no.
I don't think so either. I think all of this is what the old folks used to say, you running amok. You just playing the game
Well, smoke and mirrors.
all day long. Illusions all day long.
Well, I think that we need to pay close attention now.
I agree.
I think that we need to pay close attention because this case, as far as I'm concerned, is setting a lot of precedent for whatever Black folks doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's all around the table though too. I think that like if you doing this, if the ex-president of the United States is getting away with all this, I think it's setting the standard, like you say, for everybody, all ethnicities around the table to try to pull stuff off. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we just that's the new rule now.
Yeah.
Donald Trump did it.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
precedent, the lawyers can argue. Here's the precedent: Donald Trump versus United States.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it'll be on the street, man. I just pulled a Trump off. You hear me?
Yeah, exactly. So there are 10 states with the highest diversity index as of the 2020 census.
Mhm.
Hawaii, California, Nevada, Maryland, DC.
You think?
Get ready for this one: Texas,
Mhm.
New Jersey, New York, Georgia, and Florida.
All,
Now,
all the major
Georgia,
states, all the major blue states.
Georgia, Florida, New York, New Jersey, and I'll go ahead on and give it to DC and Maryland, had the biggest increase in percentage.
You knew DC was gonna be on there. Come on.
So that's the changes in demographics of and all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now I begged, okay, so y'all know I live in Texas. Okay. So when you look around, you do see a diverse group of people in Texas.
Mm-hmm. Truly.
You go outside and drive down the street and you will see all different types, races of people,
Yeah.
nationalities. You will
Everything.
see everything,
Everything.
everything,
Everything.
everything. Okay. However, this state is run by wealthy white men
Truly. Truly.
who don't care what this diverse group of people want.
Nope. But see, we have to, this is the thing though. Texas has a problem. The problem in Texas is one thing, and Texas is its own governing state, no matter how you look at it. Texas makes their own rules and abides by those rules. There is no other state that does that. That's why the state of Texas is called the Lone Star State, because they stand alone in a lot of things that they do. Half the time when there are issues happening in Texas, Texas is leading the forefront. Texas is usually not behind in something that they are doing, or if they are moving in a place where they're trying to get something accomplished. So if you waiting on Texas to go with the standard, that never happens. They usually set the standard, and then people will follow behind them in what they're doing. So Texas is like the United States Vatican. It's its own country. And when you look at it like that, you be like, okay, I can't, you're right. You can't knock what they do and how they do it. So yeah, you're absolutely right, sister. You're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. Texas sent them immigrants up there to the White House to the DC first. I ain't saying nobody get in line with that shit, but they was the first one to did. You want them? Here you go. Put them up somewhere.
So this was what the whole thing was about. This is one of the things. So Texas in the state Senate passed a bill that would eliminate voting centers that are scattered throughout the country that any voter, registered voter, can vote at on election day. Okay, they passed a bill to stop that. it would require residents to vote at an assigned precinct, which is usually in your neighborhood, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
I just think the United States wants a king.
Well,
They want somebody to tell them what to do all the time. So maybe we should go and raise Idi Amin, because that's all it is a dictatorship. Socialist, capitalist, what's the other one? What's the three? Socialist, capitalist, and what's the third one? I forgot what the third one is. But the United States functions as all of those. I mean, just be like the children of Israel. Give us the king. We want to be like other countries. That's all it is.
so there's a group called the Texas Voting Rights Lab,
Mm-hmm.
and they are currently tracking 221 election-related bills. This is in the state of Texas alone,
Alone.
221. So while you sitting up here talking about Trump and want him to be like, and this is what always happens. We're so busy with the smoke and mirrors, allowing the smoke and mirrors to take us in different directions and getting distracted from what the real business is. And then when no law that was changed affects us personally, that's when we're angry. They can't change. Listen, let me tell you something. Unless they stop early voting, and even probably with that, because before we had early voting, I always went to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And if I had at that time, at any time during my voting life, had I had to stay in the line and miss a day shift, I would have.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to call somebody to say, please go pick up my kids because I'm voting, I
Mm-hmm.
would have.
That's because you understood the issues and you was really sold out for what you wanted to see change. And a lot of people don't want that. They just want to say they did it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I went in and voted. But like we talked about on a national level, how many people actually research who they're voting for and have
No,
followed
they just,
them?
especially now in this day and age, it's only what the 3 second, 30 second, 60 second, 2 minute video on YouTube tells us the little sound bite. That's what we're voting on.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying, because people are not doing the research. They're not doing the legwork. Listen, man, listen. The reason social studies was so important and is to this day, even though Texas doesn't allow it to be taught, the reason social studies were so important and is because it broke down the demographics of how politics works. Like, when you talk about, you ask the average person, name me the three houses. I bet they get one, maybe. Maybe. So when you don't understand how each of those houses work, and when I say the houses, I'm talking about the judicial, the executive, and the legislative branches of government. When you don't know how those houses work and how policies are made, what's the likelihood of a person actually researching to find out who they really want to vote for and follow them. You know what I'm saying? You can go and look up George Bush Jr.'s record before he was even a governor and find out what his stands were. So by the time he got to the presidency, you already know this dude is Looney Tunes or he's solid, either one. But if you ain't doing the legwork to do that, and then you just see, this is the problem I have. People want to let other people make their mind up for them because they are influencing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just throwing a rock out, name calling no names on nothing, but just like, say for instance, Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? If Jay-Z voted for Biden, well, Jay-Z voted for Biden, so I guess, you know, he the good guy. I'm gonna vote for him. They let the influence dictate their decision without them doing the work. And that's where you jack up at, because what their stance on something is and your stance on it is going to be totally different. Once again, we talk about things like moral law. You know, what's moral to you? You know what I'm saying? And the main thing we have in the news right now outside of Trump is the Abortion Act and trying to overturn that again after the court ruled the way it did. So some people for it, some people against it, but you're gonna make a decision on what somebody else think because they in the news and they on a rap video or they got this name on them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you're not listening. You're not listening. Listen, the representatives are saying that they're trying to stop illegal voting.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're putting out there in front of you. But if you don't, in my family, they used to say this. My father used to say this. You have to think past or beyond the nose on your face.
Absolutely.
So if your thought process takes you here instead of here where you can see the bigger picture. If I close down all these different voting sites, then I take away some people's ability to vote. And if they can't get to the polls, that's fine, because the people I want to get to the polls can get to the polls.
It's gonna be there. Exactly. It's like this. Me and my sister on her plays chess. Chess is not played move by move. It's played 12 to 15 moves ahead if you're good. You know what I'm saying? So if you're thinking like that and you're watching the other side of the board, this is why I say chess is the game of life, not Monopoly, because Monopoly is built off of chess because it's a strategy. You have to have a strategy to take over whatever you want to take over. So if you're thinking ahead, like I said, several moves ahead, then you see everything that's moving and how they're trying to box you in. But if you just thinking, I'm gonna just do this, I'm gonna move like this. If my people used to say, if you don't make an educated decision, then you're gonna suffer the consequences. It has.
I'm gonna tell you, they have early voting right now in Texas. And these different precincts, these different centers where you could go and vote 2 weeks before the election. Early voting. And if I tell you, it's one I go to most often. There are two that I will go to most often. And if I tell you, as soon as I see the signs up out there, the voting signs in front of the place, if I tell you, I pull right up on in there and put my vote in.
You go ahead and get it out the way so you don't have to deal with the line.
But I tell you this, if they take them away again, if they put it back to where it used to be where we didn't have that,
Mm-hmm.
this is one little Black sister that's gonna be sitting right there. I don't care what I don't I'm gonna be a no call, no show at work. Like I will take that cut and pay.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, though, sister. The standard of people have changed. They don't want to do what needs to be done so they can see change. They talk about change and they say, hey, we want this to do that, and we want to move this and we want to move it. But when it comes down to the legwork, man, ain't nobody trying to do it. They want the easy life. Like I said, I was talking to some of my partners, and we was talking about just this alone, and jobs and different things of that nature. Why is it so easy to go to somebody else's job? The reason being because it's already established, it's already been proven, and the money is there. But then you complain about why you don't have this. It's because you don't want to do the legwork and sit down and develop your own company to do what you need to do to be successful without the influence and a handout of somebody else.
Yeah.
And this it's work. Some people like to go to other people's jobs. I'm not one of them.
Yeah. Take us out of here.
So, you know what?
By the way, y'all go check out Trump and his orange outfit.
He got an orange outfit on. Does it
And
match?
his mugshot. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They actually put him in a jumpsuit. They painted that out. He didn't go get no jumpsuit for it.
Take us
So,
out of here, Carlos.
hey, you know what you can do. You can check us out on platforms, Facebook, Spotify, all those good, wonderful podcasts. And, listen, do the research. Don't believe the smoke and mirrors, and just remember to enjoy the ride that is Insane Rhetoric. Oh, ain't it a holiday coming up?
Yeah, happy Father's Day, y'all.
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day, co-host.
Happy Father's Day to you too, also.
To me,
Yeah.
We talked about this in the man cave. We talked about this in the man cave.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Even if you're a stepdad, you're still a father, especially if you're a good one. So happy Father's Day to all y'all. And just remember to enjoy the ride.